excitement.
Yes, I have a Red Bull. I'm just going to put it aside.
Oh, that's dangerous.
I'm going to be unbearable because I love Carson Wentz. I was just on the phone for a half hour with Chris Ballard about 4 or 5 days ago, the Colts GM. He was in a good mood. I knew something was up.
Yeah.
He was in a really good mood. And I love what the Colts are doing. I think he didn't blink, by the way. This is what Chris Ballard did. Now, I'll tell you what's great about the NFL. So Carson Wentz now to the Colts. We talked about this last 3 days. It's really interesting. The two teams that are better today than they were 2 weeks ago are the Rams, Matt Stafford. So the Rams last year went 10-6 and won a playoff game and gave the Packers trouble. So I think Stafford makes them a game to a game and a half better. So I've already made my NFL predictions. I haven't put them on the air yet, but I've already done my standings at home. I think the Rams go to an 11-5 team with a chance to win multiple playoff games with Stafford. I don't think it's like going from Jameis Winston to Brady, Stafford to Goff, but I do think it's an elevation. He's better in a muddy pocket. He's got a better arm, a little more athletic. And now Carson Wentz to the Colts. I feel the same way. He makes them a game and a half better with a chance to win multiple playoff games. They were 11-5 last year. I think this makes them 12-4, game and a half better. Stafford is better than Goff. Wentz is significantly more athletic than Phillip Rivers. May not be as good at the line of scrimmage. Phillip's really good there. But I think in both instances, and they both did it differently. Les Snead in L.A., a competitive market, is a go-for-it guy. I mean, he's a wheeler and dealer. Chris Ballard doesn't blink. Here's what I'm offering you, and I'm not budging. And they both worked. There's more than one way to win in this league. There's more than one culture. Green Bay wins with their culture. New England wins with theirs. Kansas City's a little flashier. Tampa's down there, crazy town, bringing in all sorts of people. There's more than one way to win in this league. The Rams went and got Stafford, wheeling and dealing. Bidding war. Colts did the opposite. Here's what we're offering. A third-round pick and a second-round pick. So this year, they're giving up a third-round pick. And the following year in the draft, they're giving up a second-round pick, which may become a first-round pick, but right now it's a second-round pick. They didn't blink. So now, and I think this is huge. I think in both Stafford to the Rams and Wentz to the Colts, you have upgraded from very good playoff teams. I now consider the Colts one of my 7 teams in the Super Bowl bubble. I think I got the Rams in. Again, they went 10-6 and won a playoff game with Goff. I got Green Bay in. I got Tampa Bay in. And I have San Francisco. As long as Garoppolo is the quarterback and upright, I have them in. In the AFC, I've got Kansas City, Buffalo, and the Colts. I do think Baltimore is close, but I've got to see Lamar Jackson to be able to play from behind, throw the ball late in games more consistently. Seattle's got talent, but I think they make it up as they go in recent years, and I've got my issues with Pete Carroll having too much power. This is what it feels like to me. You got 4 NFC teams that should be in my Super Bowl bubble: Green Bay, the Rams, San Francisco if Garoppolo plays, and Tampa. And I think it's the Chiefs, the Colts, and the Bills in the AFC. And yesterday I talked about this. I said there's warning signs. There's 5 warning signs in the NFL that your franchise is about to join the clown show, the clown club. I'm not going to reiterate those, but there's also 5 signs that you're going to become a legitimate Super Bowl contender every year. And the Colts now have those, and let's discuss them. Number 1, the quarterback and the coach have a strong relationship. Breeze and Sean Payton, Andy Reid and Mahomes. Say what you want, Belichick and Brady. Fouts, and you go back to Aikman and Jimmy Johnson. Generally speaking, you are in you don't have to win a Super Bowl, but you're in the ball. Arians and Brady, turbulent early, got along great. When the quarterback and the head coach are in unison and they respect and like each other, you win a lot of games, and Wentz and Frank Reich will be great together. He's never been the same since Reich left. Number 2 is you have protection. I've said this in baseball, you cannot win a World Series with a lousy bullpen. You can't be bleeding runs no matter. I mean, the Dodgers bullpen wasn't great last year, but it was good enough. You cannot win Super Bowls with a crappy offensive line. The Buccaneers, the untold story of the Buccaneers Super Bowl was their offensive line at the end of the year was fantastic. Brady wasn't getting touched. Number 3, you got to give your quarterback some weapons. That's why Brady left New England. Jonathan Taylor for the Colts has become a star at the end of the year. He didn't have a preseason. Michael Pittman, ask the Bills secondary, has become a star receiver. They also have Paris Campbell, hurt last year, one of the fastest players in the NFL. He'll be playing for the Colts this year. You got to have a top 10 defense. That's number 4. You don't have to be great. You don't have to have great defense, but you can't ask your quarterback to win 44-40 every weekend. The Buffalo Bills defense this year wasn't very good, but it was situationally pretty good. But it has to get better. The Bills defense has to get better. I mean, Phillip Rivers ran up and down the field on them. So Wentz gets a top 10 defense. And number 5 is you got to have a legitimate front office that just keeps your roster viable. You got to manipulate the cap. You can't pay like Dallas good players great money. So the 5 things to me that means and this, by the way, this is kind of what Baltimore usually is, what Green Bay usually is, what New England was, is you got a good head coach quarterback relationship, good offensive line, give him some weapons, a defense that lets you win occasionally 23-20, and a front office that's viable, manipulates the cap, keeps the roster tight. You've always got a little cap space. You don't have any dead money. You're not paying good players great money. So I think right now the Colts just found themselves. The Rams and the Colts both are in my Super Bowl bubble, but I think the Colts are there this morning. They didn't blink. They've got their way of doing business, and congratulations. I knew when I talked to Ballard he was in an especially good mood, and he just landed Carson Wentz. And let me just say this about there are different ways to do it, but what you never want to do, even in life, is sell your soul. I mean, I'm a saver. I don't spend a lot of money. I make a pretty good living. I put 50% of my income away every year. That's who I am. Now, I tell my kids I overspend for 2 things, experiences and education. I'll break the bank for college, and I'm going to spend a lot of money if I want to take my family to Hawaii. Because I remember as a kid, we went in 5 or 6 vacations. I can remember them, and I was like 7 years old. But my value system is I'm not going to sell my soul. Okay, this is what I am. I'm a saver. The Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday, Kevin Colbert, their GM, came out. His quote